Welcome to First Lutheran's Children's Message. I have a question for you. When you pray, who do you pray for? Do you pray for yourself? Lots of us pray for ourselves, and we also often pray for our family. Do you do that too? Maybe your siblings or your parents or your grandparents. What about your friends? Do you pray for them? Today, we're going to learn about a man named Paul who wrote a letter to a friend named Timothy. Paul knew a lot about Jesus. He wrote the letter to encourage and teach Timothy. Paul told Timothy to pray for everyone because Jesus wants us to pray for people we know and people we don't know. Today's story is called One for All, and it's from the Bible, 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 through 7. Timothy watched the people shuffling around Ephesus. Many were new believers, but some didn't want to learn about Jesus. Timothy sighed. Teaching the Ephesians about Jesus was hard work, especially when they didn't want to listen to him. Timothy opened a letter from his friend Paul. Paul understood how Timothy felt and encouraged him to pray for the people he taught. Dear Timothy, who do you pray for? Friends? Family? Believers? Good, but don't stop there. Pray for everyone. Kings and queens, poor and rich, people who agree with you and people who don't. Pray that everyone receives God's forgiveness. Celebrate how big God's grace is. Forgiveness and grace are for all people. Remember 3 important things. First, there is only one God. Second, Jesus Christ has brought God to us. Jesus was both human and God's Son. We learn about God from Jesus. Third, Jesus died and came back to life for you and me. Because of Jesus, everyone receives God's grace, not just the people who agree with you, not just believers, friends, enemies, family, and even people you've never met. Remember to share God's grace with everyone. Your friend, Paul. Timothy knew it would still be hard work to teach people about Jesus, but he could share Paul's letter with them and pray. That's a great story. I love how it reminds us to share God's grace with everyone and pray for everyone, even if we don't always agree with them or even if we're not getting along right now. We can still pray for each other. Let's say a prayer right now. Dear God, please help us remember to pray for others, even people we don't know or agree with. Amen.